Yeah, Manchester City have just beat Southampton 1-0, and I'm very, very happy with this. And what I will say immediately, this is a safe space for those who want to be positive about that result, because you've got every goddamn right to be positive about that result if you feel like it, because we have just beat, and I want to add this caveat straight away at the start, we have just beat genuinely one of the best sides in the league at the moment. So I want to put that out there straight away. As frustrating and as clear as some of the problems were from that game, can I just start with saying that we've just beat a genuinely good team, and it probably would have been fair to say that we probably should have scored another goal or two as well. So I want to just put out there, so you can be simultaneously frustrated by our inability to waste the ball at the start, and I can 100% can relate to that, but you can also be impressed with the performances of Bernardo, not in front of goal, Bernardo, John Stones, and our genuine kind of like general resilience defensively. So you are allowed to say that. So what I say basically, in general, you can be frustrated, but you can also admit that it was a good performance and a good, much needed result away from home against a side that, if I'm being honest, most of us, not everyone, but most of us feared. So overall, long story short, that'll do. That actually will do, and I'm genuinely happy with that, because I did think Manchester City were going to drop points today. So that is what I will want to say at the start. That is my bottom line, basically. A good performance, littered with repetitive frustrations that we all know exist, and I think that's probably a fair thing, and I do think a lot of negativities come from our frustrations watching us be so poor going forward when it mattered, but we did create chances once again against a pretty decent side. So I am not too bothered about this result overall. Does it paper any cracks? No. Over any cracks? No, it doesn't. Does it really change anything? No, it doesn't. But I do think we saw some encouraging moments. And I'm going to start initially with the encouraging moments. In the first half, that definitely wasn't a double pivot. We did look a little bit slack, I must admit, defensively in the first half at times. Sorry, Nicholas playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla behind me, by the way, if you're just joining and you're not in the stream, which I'm going to move that around a little bit now so it's a little bit more central. There we go. That's a bit better. No Christmas tree involved, unfortunately, but that looks a little bit better, doesn't it? It was a little bit slack. Defensively in the first half, but we did play a double pivot. So we didn't play a double pivot in that first half. Initially, we had Gundogan a lot further ahead than Kevin De Bruyne, alongside Kevin De Bruyne, then Rodri, and we were a little bit more, I guess, attacking going forward. We did enjoy having a team that was willing to go at us in the first half, and we did actually create a little bit of chance, a little bit of space every now and then. So it was kind of nice to see City be a little bit more aggressive in the first half. But I must admit, in the second half, we did tighten up a little bit and go to more of a double pivot. But it kind of worked, if I'm being honest. I know we weren't great to watch, but it did kind of work. The changes worked. We saw the game out, and we defended once again absolutely brilliantly. I've got to admit that Stones and Diaz were absolutely fantastic alongside each other. They really were. They were so good. The defence is doing its job so well. Cancelo, even though we did have a pretty poor first half, I think, alongside facing up to Walker, I think the second half, Cancelo, Walker, Diaz and Stones dealt with absolutely everything that came their way, and I was very impressed with the defence's ability. And we can't really deny, by the way, that our defence is absolutely fucking brilliant. So if it does click in front of goal, we stop being so goddamn wasteful, then we're going to have something pretty special on our hands here. Just saw it in the Christmas tree lights. I got distracted, by the way. I saw a bit hanging down. But we are going to have something pretty special, potentially. But obviously, those persistent problems in front of goal. I mean, at the end, that Bernardo moment when he passed it across to Mahrez. Mahrez probably should have scored, but that wasn't the frustrating thing for me, Mahrez missing the chances. It was Bernardo deciding to pass there. I mean, Bernardo, man. There was zero excuse for any attacker, any midfielder, or probably any player. But I always am saying attackers because defenders might, they might get a bit confused in front of goal, whatever. But any midfielder, especially a forward attacking player like Bernardo, there's zero excuse for them to ever pass on their strongest foot on a favourable side from 6 yards out. Don't you fucking dare pass unless it's a tapping for someone else. Just shoot. Just wallop it. Just wallop it. So basically, Guardiola will be sat there frustrated like mad because he's like, I've got the players to create situations where we make good shooting chances, you know. We've got De Bruyne going through and absolutely piss poor effort on goal. Bernardo one bit as well, but he got the ball across from Kevin De Bruyne and he decided to try and go around the outside of the defender instead of shooting with his second touch. Just fucking shoot, man. It ain't complicated. Don't try and be clever. Just whack the ball, and if you miss the chance, you'll get frustrated, but at least we won't say you're overcomplicating it. But overall, running there, it made me a little bit thirsty. Overall, the same problems were there, but I do think this was a side that was better than the recent ones. I do think largely that we were a little bit more focused in this game in terms of creating chances, and I think the movement was a little bit better. I thought Sterling kept getting involved really well, but then he was driving me mad with his decision making, Sterling, unfortunately. Torres was, I must admit, Torres didn't get involved at all, which was very frustrating. He couldn't get involved, and he's still struggling to get involved and assert himself in Premier League games, which is a bit of concern, but it's not a concern at the same time, I guess, because he is still young, learning the league, but he was a little bit on the peripheral today. In terms of Bernardo, I thought Bernardo was excellent. Genuinely, I thought Bernardo's best performance for a while in terms of his overall involvement. Don't get me started him in front of goal. I guess I've already been starting him in front of goal, but I think his overall involvement was really good. I'm happy with that. De Bruyne, a mixed bag, but I can't deny that he played some beautiful passes. I can't deny that he was constantly going forward and trying to make things happen. I thought Gundogan had another good game, by the way. Linking up the play and all that kind of stuff and some nice technical moments. Rodri in the first half looked a little bit exposed, Rodri. He did not look comfortable at all in the Fernandinho role on his own, because the first half Rodri was a lot deeper than De Bruyne and Gundogan, and you could tell we tried to drop the double pivot to get more people forward, and Guardiola said we have to be more aggressive in the build-up to this game. I think that was Guardiola's attempt to try and basically push people forward and be a lot more assertive. And it kind of worked going forward, but we did sacrifice a little bit of defensive stability against a very good side, hence why it changed. And I think we were a little bit better in the second half, Rodri, with Gundogan alongside him. But he did show you that, unfortunately, if you want to play these two false eights, it can't be Rodri there. Honestly, it can't be. I would have loved to have seen Gundogan maybe the number 6 there, because obviously Gundogan's a little bit better on the ball, and he wouldn't have been caught in possession quite as much as Rodri would have been. And maybe then Foden ahead of him, but that's not going to happen. I'm just reading your comments now. Andrew says, Rodri's a good player, but he does not fit this team. That's how I kind of feel at the moment, if I'm being honest. We need an overhaul of our offensive players. I said during the watch-along, Shai's probably talking correct there, by the way. I said during the watch-along that I think Manchester City's biggest problem is the most obvious one. And there's a thing called Occam's razor. I'm going to read it out. It's a principle and a law. I'm going to read out Occam's razor. It's a problem-solving principle. And it is basically, it says entities should not be multiplied without necessity. Or more simply, the simplest explanation is usually the right one. And I think the most obvious explanation of why basically Manchester City, getting a bit of philosophy here, aren't playing as good as we used to be is because we don't have players who are as good as the players that we previously had. I think it's honestly as simple as that. That obviously is a failure of recruitment and maybe even Guardiola, I don't know. I'm not saying, so basically we got it wrong there. But for me, the simplest problem here is simply Fernandinho. Rodri is not as good as Fernandinho. Fernandinho at his best is long gone. Aguero for me is probably long gone at his best too. David Silva is gone. So now our forward line used to have Aguero there, and Aguero was world class, and everyone was scared of Aguero because he's one of the greatest strikers in the history of the game. So everyone basically sat a little bit deep, and Aguero drew more attackers because he was so good. So he's gone. His clinicism in front of goal is gone because he's simply not there. Sane obviously provided a little bit of width naturally, his pace going forward. And Sane was pretty clinical too. Sterling, unfortunately, he's lost form, but he's not what I'm saying. He's still there. But then David Silva was our brains and he was energy as well at one point during the 17 to 19 kind of window. He was absolutely fantastic. Pressing, energy, control, measured performances. David Silva was absolutely brilliant. And Fernandinho was there. So we lost Fernandinho. Hugo reckons Rodri's better than Fernandinho. Hugo, fucking hell, man. Like, I don't know what game you're watching. Fernandinho is possibly the best defensive midfielder we've ever had at this club. Hands down. Fernandinho now, by the way, Fernandinho now is not that good anymore. But I can't believe anyone would honestly claim that Rodri is better than Fernandinho at his peak. I think Rodri's a good footballer, but is he Fernandinho? Not even close. I'm sorry, it's not even close. That is one of the most crazy claims I've ever seen. Now, of course, Fernandinho isn't what it used to be. I would totally agree with that. But overall, just no for me. I'm sorry. But I honestly think that's it. I think, unfortunately, the quality of players is a little bit less where it is. So that's for me. Like, David Silva's gone, world class. Aguero's gone, world class. Fernandinho gone, world class. So yeah, someone asked me before, by the way, am I concerned about Ferran Torres? Not overly, if I'm being honest. It's a weird time where City is still trying to find their life. Let me have a look how many minutes... I'm saying now. Now, fair enough, Hugo. I thought you meant overall. Fernandinho now is not what he used to be. Fernandinho's gone. The Fernandinho we know has gone. The Aguero we know is gone, even though they're still here. That's how I feel. They're just backup players now. So I'm going to look at Ferran Torres' stats and see how many games he's played. Ferran Torres, I'm going to go on maybe transfer market, that will tell me. Ferran Torres has played how many Premier League minutes? I'm not sure if he's updated this, but he's played 495 Premier League minutes. That's not really much. I'm not sure if that's today or not, so that'll be 500 or something if not. But Ferran Torres, I'm not concerned about him in the Premier League yet. He's obviously got quality. I think he's still adapting to this level, which is... it's frustrating because you want him to adapt faster, but I'm not going to complain too much. Overall, though, by the way, I thought that was a decent performance. Was it a great performance? No. Are there still obvious flaws there? Yes. But was it a performance that I wasn't expecting today? I do think there were some signs, hopefully, some signs of hope. And once again, by the way, we defended so well. But if we had a clinical striker, that's 2 or 3-0, and everyone's going, God damn it, we're Liverpool, where we counter-attacked really well and got forward, and they've not conceded chances, and we'll go, fucking hell. That would have been a Liverpool performance, That would have been that, and we would have been happy with that. Maybe not quite as the same intensity pressing as Liverpool, to be fair, but one thing I will say as well, Thunderbatch just said, Diaz and Stones is a really good partnership, by the way. Thunderbat, man, you batted that, you knocked that straight out of the park, you're absolutely spot on. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And what a partnership. Genuinely a fantastic partnership. I do think we can see the problems. I think we can't play Rodri on his own, unfortunately, as a number 6. Maybe we get someone like Zakari who can do that or something like that. I thought overall the defence was fantastic, and I will give them that credit. I'm happy about that. So there's my thoughts on the games anyway. So I want to hear your thoughts and get your questions in. Please do hit the subscribe button, by the way, if you're new to the channel. Go and follow me on all the social channels at the bottom as well. Thank you so much for the support, and make sure to hit the like button as well, by the way, if you don't mind. Today was a good day, by the way. I know it's a frustrating day, but it's also a good day. 2 things as ever can be true at the same time. What I'm afraid of, says Mehmet, is that we've signed all these young players that may not reach their full potential, and Pep not being in due to his arrogance. I mean, it's not arrogance, maybe it's just trust. And, one man's arrogance is another man's patience, so you've got to bear that in mind. You're like, you might not necessarily be arrogant to believe in players. It might just be like, I've seen what they can do, and I trust them. So, it's like saying, why is that person sticking with that person, in a relationship? So maybe because they've been really nice and they trust them or something like that, So I think you could say it's arrogance, it could be distrust. But you might be right. I guess we'll see. We need to get world-class players and not just young players with high potential. A mixture is always the best way for me, Mompati. But maybe young players with potential who potentially could be world-class, like Haaland or Husam Aouar, as Andrew KW just said. I would love someone like that. I would love something like that. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? It might not happen, but we need something like that, I reckon. Ederson was good today, I thought, as well. Honestly, defensively, we were really good as ever. Southampton are a good side, and they put us under an awful lot of pressure, and they kept coming at us, but we kind of did our job, We did hold steady. They did put us some good crosses in. We had to do some kind of last-ditch defending, but you're going to get that against any good side. And Southampton have been above us in the table this season for a reason. So I'm happy with that. I'll go through the individuals again. I thought Ederson was good. He was fine today. He played pretty well. Cancelo started a bit sloppily. But then I thought it was much better in the second half and had a good game overall. I thought Rodri, I'll get on to him in a minute. I meant to say Diaz, sorry. Diaz was good once again. Solid. Rock solid. Stones, rock solid once again. Kyle Walker, rock solid. I was really happy about that. Rodri was poor in the first half. A bit better in the second half when he had Gundogan alongside him, but once again, I think we can see the problem there. And I think Gundogan had a pretty decent game overall. Bernardo had a very good game. I'll take that. Bernardo was good, other than front of goal, where he was very frustrating. 2 chances, which I think he absolutely spurned. And I would say Kevin De Bruyne had a mixed bag of a game. I thought he played some lovely passes and probably could have had an assist or 2 as ever. He had 1 assist, he could have had more. And it was nice to see him get an assist, by the way. Sterling, good finish, but just drove me mad, Sterling, because I wanted to see him just be a little bit more decisive. He did the thing that Sterling does where he's taking his time and he cuts back in constantly and runs it out of play. Ferran Torres he was absolutely non-existent, unfortunately, so I thought it was a poor performance for him. But that was it, that covers everyone. I thought Foden might have come on, but he didn't come on, unfortunately. We need more energy in the midfield. Rodri's not it, says Rahman. Yeah, possibly, mate, possibly. I think if we want to play this you know, you got to bear in mind, by the way, this like false eight thing where we had one DM and two attacking midfielders. That's very much a Guardiola thing. That didn't really exist, you know. But it did exist, kind of. But Guardiola made that popular. Usually, two defensive midfielders was a common thing with one attacking midfielder. But we changed the game. So if we're going to play that, we need a mobile defensive midfielder, as everyone's saying, and we haven't got that. Zach, I don't hate Rodri. I can just probably admit that Rodri as a number 6 on his own doesn't work very well. I honestly don't hate the guy, but I feel like he can't handle that role on his own, which is, I guess it's not his fault because he's not necessarily meant to be in that kind of role, but it does obviously new to how we want to play, unfortunately. John Stones is indeed brilliant, I agree. Lack of substitution, Zemista. Once again, Guardiola will probably turn around and say it's because of a control thing, that things he didn't want to change it, and he'll probably feel justified in this instance. I would have loved to have seen Foden come on, but okay, fair enough, we didn't come on. This is what Guardiola's had to say after the game. He was asked about being Premier League title challengers. He said, "We are away." I said to the guys, "Don't think about challenging." What's he on about? I can't understand what he's on about there. On the game in general, he said we came from an unconfident situation, but good result, good points. We don't have momentum to score goals. We had 4 or 5 chances, but no momentum. We have to accept it. It's important. They suffered in the situations. We accept that the momentum in front of goal is not good. We faced a team with momentum. It's a good result to climb a little bit in the table, but now Carabao Cup and Newcastle is coming. The start from here is good. Yeah, he's right. I mean, he also bigged up the defence, by the way. He said Kyle's amazing, Joao as well. John and Ruben playing the last games incredibly well. Rodri was amazing too. His presence, personality, everyone. That'll ruffle some feathers. A tough game, demanding. We'll recover for the next game. I do think Rodri was good defensively, by the way, in the second half. I can't deny that. I see a super chat there. Where's it gone? Has it come through yet? I just saw a super chat comment. Where is it? JD Walks and Hikes. Thank you so much, mate. JD walks and hikes. Where are you walking, man? I want to know where you're walking because me and Nicola love a good walk and we're going for a walk tomorrow morning. So let us know where we should go for walks. JD walks and hikes. How many goals have we conceded? Great foundation. We'll be fine in front of goal. Come on, City. Come on, City, indeed. And when it finally clicks, by the way, everyone better fucking fear us because we are creating chances occasionally. We just missed them. How many goals have we conceded? I don't know, man, but we don't concede many these days. I think we've probably got one of the best defensive records in the league now. Let's have a look. In terms of clean sheets, we're up into 5th now, by the way, guys, which is nice. In terms of goals against, we now have the best defensive record in the league with Spurs, and we've got the most clean sheets. 12 goals conceded, an awful lot of clean sheets recently, which is great stuff. You've got to bear in mind, 5 of them came in one game as well. So if you take, otherwise, yeah, so basically, it's 7 goals in 12 games, not including today, which is nice, isn't it? You know, that's nice, that. So yeah, JD, it's positive on that front. So thank you so much, man, for the support. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. What's Mehmet saying there? Genuinely. JD, love your optimism, mate. Genuinely. Yeah, a little bit more of JD's optimism. Come on. Come on. That's what I will say. We are up into 5th now. Obviously, it's not. It will change, but we're back ahead of United. And I'll take it for the day. That's what I will. I will take it for the day. Stephen John Stones in his day is such a Rolls-Royce defender. Yeah, can we talk about the return of John Stones, by the way? Has he just become a world-class defender again? It's like that John Stones we had in the 17-18 season briefly. He's been absolutely fantastic, and I love John Stones' reinvention. Sean! Sorry, I want to interrupt myself because I want to say hello to Sean. Sean, welcome back to the channel, mate. Sean Fogarty's there. Sean, you are on the wall there, scrolling around now, Sean, so keep it there. But back to John Stones. I mean, he looks like the penny's finally dropped. Showing you there, by the way. There you are, pal. Thank you for becoming a member, Sean. I really appreciate it, mate. But he does look like John Stones. I love that. Pops Buckner saying John Stones' Diaz is like Nestor and Maldini. It is indeed, doesn't it, man? It is indeed. But yeah, Stones at the moment. What is going on? One thing I will say, by the way, is like we all talk about, you know, obviously we can't score goals and we're shit in front of goal and Pep out and stuff. You got to bear in mind, Pep has literally just fixed the defence. So, like, can't we give him a chance a few months to maybe try and fix the forward line? Like, is that unreasonable? Am I being, like, I say that out loud to myself and, like, that sounds kind of sensible. Like, am I being unreasonable? I mean, it feels like a fair thing to say because, like, Guardiola, I feel like, you know, if he can fix the defence, why can't he fix the forward line, you know? Surely he can. I mean, that feels like a very fair deduction. I mean, people are entitled to disagree, but to me, it feels like, I mean, we probably will just buy a bunch of players and get better about it. Which is obviously people will go, you're spending money again, which is a fair point, but it's not our fucking problem, is it? I mean, that's my deduction. It may be a bit painful to get there, by the way, but I still would trust, put it this way, in terms of highest level, Pep's best teams are better than anyone else's best teams, in my personal opinions. That's why I'd rather see Guardiola get a chance. Basically, to turn it around. JD loves walking around Edale and Kinder Scout. Nice, man. We were thinking about going to Mam Tour tomorrow, by the way. She didn't place entirely, but we were thinking about it. But yeah, I would take that too. We've got another super chat coming in, I think. I'll get over to here. Mehmet says, no, not unreasonable at all. We're all just reactionary in this chat, myself included, but the man needs time and has proved he can transform a squad. Patience, my people. Indeed, Mehmet. And Big Johnny saying, how we fix the defence? Doesn't really seem so. Johnny, man, big love to you for getting the comment in, but I love you, man, for the comment, but I'm very confused. Doesn't seem so, really. We literally, like, well, we don't concede goals. Right, Johnny, man, like, once again, Johnny, I'm gonna read through the scores. So, like, Johnny, I'm not sure if you're trolling or not, but I appreciate your comment on Johnny, but I'm gonna read through City's results. So let's have a look for the results, basically. I'm gonna go through. I mean, I can't really decide how someone thinks we haven't improved the defense, because I swear we have, man. I swear we have, unless I'm going crazy here. So let's have a look. We conceded 0 goals against Southampton, 1 against West Brom, fair enough. 0 against United. 0 against Marseille, 0 against Fulham, 0 against Porto, 0 against Burnley, 0 against Olympiacos, okay, 2 against Spurs, 1 against Liverpool, but there's no shame in conceding against Liverpool, 0 against Olympiacos, 0 against Sheffield United, 0 against Marseille, 1 against West Ham, 1 against Porto, 0 against Arsenal. It feels like since Diaz has come in, we don't concede goals anymore, really. We conceded a few, of course, but like we're talking nothing. So I'm going to respectfully disagree with that, Johnny, because I like, man, fair enough, man, if you feel that way, but to me, it feels like our defence has got really, really good. Atafa, no worries about the spamming, mate. I know I timed you out before, but at least you've apologised. I appreciate that. No, Johnny's like entitled to his opinion. Like, I'm not going to have a go at him, but I just politely disagree. You know, he's not a bad person for saying that. At least he said fair enough. Johnny, by the way, I'm sorry to try and pull you out there, but I'm not trying to pull you out. But I do agree that, you know, it has come at a cost of our forward line. So we have to find the balance. I do admit that. And hopefully we will find the balance. Diaz and Stones are much needed backbone. I love your comments too, Sean. Thank you so much for loving the videos. Please do hit the subscribe button, by the way, and just get over 200 likes if you can during this video. It'd be much appreciated. By the way, it's really nice not to see loads of Pep out comments. I know some people want him to leave still anyway, which is totally fine if you want to. But last time we did a video, he just Pep out, Pep out, Pep out, Pep out, and I'm like, oh. It's nice just to know that tomorrow morning I won't be dreading making a video. And we're at 47,103 subscribers, so please do hit the subscribe button. Let's get me to 47,200. And you know what? Vader said, at least we made some decent chances today. We did, actually. We created better chances of Southampton. So, on another day, if we put a second goal in, no one's going to complain about that. Mohamed, I don't. Mohamed, I don't think we're going to leave personally, but I think we'll be closer than people realise. But I'm putting you a timeout for spamming. Sorry, pal. No spamming. Mohamed, you're spamming. It's very annoying. Stephen or Stefan? It's Stephen, Faith. I'm always Stephen. 50k by the end of 2020. I don't think I'm going to hit Martin, unfortunately. Probably about 2 or 3 months, I reckon. But get EK to 50k, I will say. Get me to 50,000. It'd be wonderful. It's a very important win, George. To be honest, man, if we hadn't won this today, there would have been knives out for Guardiola. So I'm glad that we got the win today, mate, because we needed it. And it was important. Game changer, Diaz and Stones, the equivalent of Maldini and Nesta. I think I put the wrong person in a timeout there. Sorry, I think I put Selman Munkjin in a timeout. If I put you in the wrong person in a timeout, I apologise. I didn't mean to. Sorry. Ken, thank you very much, mate. I'm glad you enjoyed the streams. We conceded the least chances in the league as well, says Berto Lee. I haven't seen the stats for that, but I'm going to trust Berto there. Pete saying better chances, but the lack of shooting when chances were there and the finishing were poor again. Yeah, it was very poor. We were very frustrating in front of goal, unfortunately, but we are creating better chances. So I mean, we need to be able. We just need to be more clinical, don't we? Yeah, Tarfa. I mean, I thought Bernardo was very good today, so I'd definitely be behind him. Mohammed, you're spamming, pal. I'm going to have to put you in a timeout, mate, because you're spamming and it's annoying for everyone else. But I do think Bernardo's earned more chances. Yeah, definitely, because I put the wrong person in timeout. It was meant to be Mohammed because he's spamming constantly. So don't worry, I've timed him out. There we go. But yeah, Bernardo was good today. But as long as he fucking shoots, just stop dicking about in front of goal. I remember Ellen and Verbel at Main Road. I do, JD. I do remember, yeah. Well, at least do I remember hearing it or do I remember her? I can't remember if I just heard it or... My first game was in 1994, so I would have heard it, wouldn't I? Yeah, I definitely heard it. Good old Ellen. Bell Lady Ellen. Faith says, love City today. We played defensive, I've seen today. I actually laughed when we missed chances because we were defending well as a unit. Nevertheless, good game. City, City, City. Indeed, Faith. I mean, you got to have faith. You got to have faith. It'd be wonderful. How's married life been? I'm not married. I wish I was, unfortunately, because COVID stopped it. Nicola, by the way, she's just over there. She's just there playing Valhalla Assassin's Creed. She just apologised to a horse because she accidentally hit a horse. You're a terrible Viking. Stephen, you're a good man, and Morris fans do like you. Morris fans definitely don't like me. Some do, but some don't. Morris came on, he was fine the other day. I thought he was fine when he came on, Morris. Couldn't fully get involved. He was lucky with a chance, but as ever, by the way, I don't give a shit who starts as long as City score, create chances, and we win. That's literally all I care about because I want Man City to win. What a Gio Diaz and Stones have become. It's truly orgasmic, says Yash Palmer. Orgasmic. Ram T, man. Thank you so much. Got to show my man Steven some support. Keep it up. Ram, keep up being awesome. Ram T, you are my favourite Ram of all the Rams. What the fuck am I on about? I'm tired today. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate the support. And also all the members. And also, by the way, these dudes over here. Oh, shit. Wrong camera. All the patrons. Thank you to all the patrons. And everyone else. These guys here. My hands are the wrong way around. Thank you so much to all the patrons. But I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that performance. I've always been really good today. I mean, we were really good in some areas and frustrating in other areas. But to be honest, all that mattered to me is that we got the job done today, and we literally did. So I'm not going to complain as long as City turn up and get the victory. Because we are obviously still trying to find a form, and it isn't going to change overnight. But for now, I'm happy, man. I'm happy, so we'll take that. It's a much-needed win, says Usman, and I agree. Pharrell says, do you think our fan base needs to be more positive? Positive is probably not necessarily the word. I would say patient, maybe. I think we're all... Football is an emotional game, and we lose perspective sometimes, and we forget that football is a human, and we forget that things that relate to football aren't usually easily fixed. And we forget what people have done for us as well in the past, and we forget that nothing great lasts forever. So I think sometimes what I would say is your emotional reaction the correct one? And are we giving people the chance to change things? And are we seeing the bigger picture? And could things be better? And does that person deserve a chance to get things better? That's what I will say. I'm positive, but I don't think I'm positive for the sake of being positive. I try and be positive because I think it's probably the right thing to do. That's what I will try and do in general. Because I try and look at it logically. I go, can Guardiola sides score shit tons of goals? I think it's pretty fair to say that Guardiola sides can score shitloads of goals. Can Guardiola sides defend really well? I think it's pretty fair to say that Guardiola currently sides can defend really well, and currently City can defend really well. Can Guardiola build a great attacking side? We know he can. Can he do it again? We don't know that. But do I feel that if he got it right, would it be worth it? Yes. And do I think it's probably going to be easy to replace the likes of David Silva, Aguero, Kompany and Fernandinho? No. Is there a manager in the world who would stroll through that? Probably not either. Does Guardiola have flaws? Yes. Could Guardiola have done some things better? Yes. Has Cheeky and Guardiola and all that kind of stuff made some poor signings? Probably. Can we get it right again? Yes. Will we get it right again? I don't know. But can we? Probably. Because we got loads of money and we got world-class management team who know what they're doing. So that's basically where I'm at. I don't know until I know stage, basically. I don't know until I know. So basically, I will just see where we're at with time. Last season wasn't good. This season hasn't been brilliant either, but what I will say is that we beat a good team today. As Pete just said, by the way, we beat a good team on their pitch with fans, and it was a much-needed 3 points. We all want more goals, but I believe in Pep and our team. The goals will start to come, especially if Aguero can play. One thing I will say is that we all operate on the principle that we don't know what our problems are. I think we probably do. I think we just probably wait until the windows to fix them. I think City know that they need a dynamic midfielder. I think City know that they need a striker. And I think City know that sometimes... our intensity lets us down a little bit. I hope that it will change. Jerome, I appreciate your comment, mate, but don't spam, Jerome. Ruben Dias to City is having the same effect that happened at Liverpool with VVD. Please read this. I've read it, mate, but please don't spam. Why is Varane a flop? He's not a flop. He's played 450 minutes of Premier League football. He's just young. He's adapting to a weird life, a COVID life, where he's not even going out and enjoying himself, and he's trying to get to know his teammates, and he's trying to get to know a new system, a faltering system as well. It's a lot easier, basically, to come into a system where things are going very well. It is easier. But it's a lot harder to come into a system where you're trying to learn a new country during a fucking lockdown, for crying out loud, during the winter months, and during a time when City are trying to rediscover themselves. So I'm willing to give Ferran Torres time. He's a baby in football terms. He's only 20 years old, you know. Manamela, I want Foden to play. I massively want Foden to play. I was disappointed he didn't come on today. So there we go. So yeah, that's my opinions on Man City at the moment. I think that's probably fair enough. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. We've won today. Try and go and relax now. Don't worry about the negatives. Let's take the positives tonight. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching my match reaction. At the end of the day, we got the job done. We've won. It was a good performance against a very good side at the moment. We all thought we were going to struggle today, and we didn't struggle as much as I thought we did in the end, so I'm happy about that. Guys, I love you all loads. For now, though, I'm going to go wind down. I'm starving, and I need a brew. In a bit, City have won. Come on, City. Come on, City. That'll do. In a bit, guys. Love you all loads. Like, comment, subscribe. Get EK to 50k. In a bit.